adult literacy is this huge problem. There's 1 billion people in the world that don't know how to read and write. It's a crazy thing. In the US, we probably spend somewhere between $5 and $10 billion a year teaching people languages. On Duolingo, we probably only spend, in the US, we probably only spend $5 million. So we spend way less than the public school system spends, and we educate more people. What we want to do is we want to get 100 million people translated the web into every major language for free. Okay? I saw the difference between those who had access to education, and not just education, that had access to a lot of things, versus those who didn't. I mean, Guatemala is a poor country, whereas people who don't have access to very good education barely learn how to read and write, and because of that, they continue being poor. It's a huge thing about my thinking, and this is why also I decided to start Duolingo. You know, what makes me the proudest about Duolingo in particular is Bill Gates uses Duolingo to learn French, or Tom Hanks uses Duolingo, or Zooey Deschanel. On the other end of the spectrum, every kid that goes to a public school in certain countries like Costa Rica or Colombia or parts of Brazil also use Duolingo. We use a lot of techniques from casinos, from online games, where we try to make it addictive. In the year 2000, I was 21 years old. I was on a plane flying to Seattle, and I was getting a PhD in computer science, and I had just listened to somebody gave a talk about how computers were not very good at solving crossword puzzles. So the idea was, can we get millions of people to do things that computers cannot do willingly? Over time, I did many projects where this idea was applied. I've given a lot of talks. I give a TED talk. I give talks that are watched by a lot of people. And most of my talks, I start by saying I am from Guatemala. I do feel like it is important to let people know that, you know, I am Latino. I think the tech world has a lot of prejudice, but I think at the same time, I think most everybody in the tech world understands that there's a lot of prejudice and they're trying to fix it. But I am weirdly proud about where I'm from, and that's where I grew up. That's where a lot of where most of my family is. That's where all my friends were. I mean, it defined me. I'm very defined by where I'm from. And the older I get, I don't know why this is, but the older I get, the more I feel defined by the fact that I am Latino or Guatemalan.